It's time to add some formal heading and list structure to our similes and metaphors assignment in Canvas. First, I want to point out that this assignment has been named Similes and Metaphors. Here, Canvas is going to do the work for us and automatically format the assignment name to a heading level 1, which is just what we want, a singular heading level 1 per assignment or per page on the internet. As I scroll down into our editing box where I have the assignment instructions, activity choices, a table, and more, I definitely see some opportunities for adding formal structure. And when I say adding formal structure, I mean using built-in tools in the Canvas toolbar above. The reason we use built-in tools is because that creates more universal accessibility for the document or for the assignment in this case. If I was to just highlight and bold the word instructions, for instance, to grab my students' attention, this is only going to work for students in a visual space. If a student was using a screen reader, for instance, they would not be alerted auditorily to the bolded text. To create this universal structure, instead of manually formatting the text, we want to highlight by clicking and dragging the word instructions. And from the paragraph dropdown, I want to click on the dropdown and choose Header 2. Canvas automatically formats it to a heading 2 and increases the font size for a visual indicator 1 to a 28.8 size. I can adjust the size in the font size box to the left of the paragraph box we just used if I would like, but for this example, I'm going to leave it. So now I have a visual indicator in size and also structure built in to my assignment for someone using a screen reader, for instance. As I scroll down below the table, I have a second section. I have activity choices with 3 activities listed below, and that tells me that this is indeed a second section and that activity choices is a heading for that section. So with it highlighted, I am now going back to that paragraph button and I want to choose heading level 3. The reason I choose heading 3 is because activity choices are part of the overall instructions. If in a hypothetical assignment, for instance, activity choices were a section in addition to another set of instructions, I might make them both heading level 2. It's okay to repeat heading levels. Just remember, we don't want to skip any heading levels. Just again, in this case, activity choices is part of the instructions, so I'm choosing heading 3. Canvas formats to a heading 3 with an 18-point font size that can be adjusted using the font size dropdown if you wish. I now have 2 sections with proper headings added using the built-in tools. But before I finish with the structure, I notice that I have 3 choices listed in the activity choices section for my students. Essentially, this is a list of 3 items. So instead of leaving them as individual paragraphs or manually making a list by adding the numbers 1, 2, 3, and so forth, I want to again create more universal accessibility with built-in tools. The manual entry will only be a visual indicator and not a universal indicator. So we'll delete those numbers and instead highlight all of the text in the list. And because they have a space between list items, when I go up to the toolbar in the top line, on the far right, I get some bulleted or list options. So the first option is for a bulleted list, and I could select a bulleted list. In this case, a numbered list makes more sense because these indeed are 1, 2, and 3 options. So instead, I'm going to click on the numbered list to change them to numbers. I now have a more universally accessible assignment created in Canvas by adding heading structure and by using a formal list structure using the built-in tools. And once published, my students will have access to this more universally accessible assignment.